that the Su-27 Flanker is one of the most instrumental jet fighters Russia is currently using against Ukraine. The jet craft is so powerful and efficient that experts have even compared it to the F-15 Eagle, which, by the way, is America's best fighter jet at the moment. For over 75 years, jet fighters have become a crucial part of the Russian Air Force, primarily used to provide air support for ground and naval troops and perform aerial bombing and air-to-air combat missions. These aircraft allowed the Russian Air Force to establish air superiority over the battleship, which significantly determines the outcome of a battle. Today, we discuss the Su-27 Flanker, one of Russia's most effective fighter jets in the Ukrainian crisis. Let's talk about the jet fighter Russia is using to destroy Ukraine's Air Force. However, before we get into the details, ensure to like this video and subscribe to the channel Military Technology Updates. What's the Su-27 Flanker? Bringing a combination of speed, easy maneuvering, and cutting-edge weapon system, the Su-27 is undoubtedly a formidable foe in aerial combat. The Su-27, also known as NATO-designated flanker, is a big long-range air superiority fighter comparable to the US F-15, but even more superior in many respects. It's a double-edged engine aircraft with paired tail fins. The Su-27 Flanker was built to exhibit exceptional controllability at high angles of attack. The Russian fighter aircraft was also designed to be used in frontline attacks and equipped to operate autonomously in combat in hostile territory, escort deep penetration strike aircraft, and suppress enemy airfields. History of this jet fighter. The story of the Su-27 Flanker jet dates back to the Cold War. However, this jet fighter has grown to become one of the most feared and respected jet fighters in history. In 1979, the Soviet Union learned of the United States Air Force's FX program, which resulted in the F-15 Eagle, America's current best jet fighter. After analyzing the F-15 Eagle, the Soviet leadership realized that the jet fighter had numerous technological advantages over the already existing Soviet fighters. To ensure that their forces do not risk losing air combat against the United States Air Force, the Russian government sought to build a jet fighter that could match or even beat the American F-15 Eagle in aerial combat. They theorized that if the Army could get a better balanced fighter with both good agility and sophisticated systems, the Russian Air Force stood a chance of beating the overrated United States Air Force. Plans for building this aircraft were handed to the Central Aerohydrodynamic Institute in Russia and the Sukhoi Design Bureau. The Soviet Air Force began receiving Su-27s in June 1985, and in August 1990, the Su-27 officially entered service. Interestingly, the jet fighter actually lived up to expectations as it was able to match an F-15 Eagle in aerial combat. The Su-27 Flanker has also seen many battles, and the jet fighter continues to record a satisfactory success rate in these fights. Currently, the Russian forces uses the jet fighter against the Ukrainian army. What are the specifications of the Su-27 Flanker? Design of the Su-27 Flanker. The Su-27 has a similar design to the Mikoyan MiG-29, another of Russia's fighter jets. However, it's relatively larger than the aircraft. The jet fighter is about 21.9 meters long and 5.92 meters high. It has an expansive wing with an area of 62 square meters. The fighter jet weighs approximately 16,380 kilograms when empty and can carry up to 14,070 kilograms of extra weight, giving it a maximum takeoff weight of 30,450 kilograms. Its aircraft is constructed with titanium and high-strength aluminum. The jet fighter can only carry single personnel. Engine design. Two Saturn AL-31F afterburning turbofan engines powered the Su-27. The engine is so called because it combines a gas turbine engine and a fan to generate a powerful force capable of propelling the jet fighter at impressive speeds despite its size. To generate this propulsive force, the gas combustion within the gas turbines generates a mechanical force that powers the fans. In turn, the fans then force air towards the rear of the engine, and the energy generated by the rearward moving air propels the jet forward. This whole setup is different from a turbojet engine in which all the air the engine takes passes through the combustion chamber and turbines without going to the fans. Speed. With an engine as powerful as that, the Su-27 is no doubt expected to possess the ability to travel at impressive speeds, not minding its size. In fact, the Su-27 is so fast that at top speeds it flies about 2,500 kilometers per hour, a speed 2 times faster than the speed of sound. It also displays an astonishing level of agility despite its large size. This feature of the Su-27 is due to its large wings, making the jet fighter have a low wing loading. This low wing loading exponentially increases the agility of the jet fighter in aerial combat. It generates a tremendous amount of lift, which enables the jet fighter to take off even at low speeds. Weapons system. What is a jet fighter without a good offensive arsenal? Not only is the offensive arsenal of the Su-27 good, but it's also one of the best in the world. The jet fighter is equipped to have a single-barreled, recoiled-operated autocannon known as the Gryshev-Shipunov GSH-30-1. This gun is lightweight and fires about 1,500 to 1,800 rounds in a minute in short, fearful, efficient bursts. The jet fighter's hardpoint bears a combination of rockets, missiles, and bombs. The S-8 rocket is one of 3 rockets the Su-27 is designed to fire. This rocket moves unguided towards the target and is powered by a versatile solid-fuel rocket motor. Rockets such as the S-13T and the S-25 may be also fitted in the jet's hardpoint. The FAB-500 bomb, also fitted in the hardpoint of the Su-27, is as tall as the wrestler Big Show and was intended to cause huge blast damage and penetrate and fragment its target in an explosive effect. Finally, the Su-27 could either be fitted with the R-27R or the R-73E missiles. These combinations of weaponry make the Su-27 a fearful and deadly jet fighter. Sensors. The Su-27 is also equipped with state-of-the-art sensors and a cutting-edge communication system. The jet fighter has an OEPS-27 electro-optic system, including an infrared search and track IRST sensor culminated with a laser rangefinder. The IRST sensors allows the jet fighter to detect targets even in foggy areas by reading the heat signatures of the targets. Variants of the Su-27 flanker jet fighter. Starting with the T-10, the initial prototype of the Su-27, the prototype jet fighter underwent a series of upgrades, resulting in the current Su-27 being used in combat. However, in the same way, this jet fighter has also undergone a series of other upgrades too. Over the years, the Su-27 has been upgraded and cooler variants of the aircraft have been built. There are several variant forms of the Su-27, each built to possess a new feature that makes it even more superior and formidable than its predecessor. These variants include the Sukhoi series and the Shenyang series. In the Sukhoi series, you have the Sukhoi Su-30, Su-33, Su-34, Su-35, and Su-37, while the Shenyang J-11, Shenyang J-16 form part of the Shenyang series. Before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Military Technology Updates. Alright, let's get back to the video. How have the Russian forces used the Su-27 in the ongoing Ukrainian crisis? The Su-27 has seen its fair share of the Ukrainian crisis. The Russian forces have used this fight in most significant battles against the Ukrainians. Considering the cool specifications of the jet fighter, it's easy to understand why the Russian Air Force would rely significantly on this jet fighter in most combats. The Su-27 has also recorded a good success rate, although these successes have come with their own share of failure. On March 9th, for instance, the Ukrainian forces claimed to have shot down a Russian Su-27 flanker jet fighter in Kyiv. Other reports of jet losses have also been recorded in other regions where the battle waxes strong. At the onset of the crisis, the Russian troops seemed to focus on Kyiv, the capital and heart of Ukraine. However, after a while, they withdrew from the capital city, re-strategized, and focused mainly on the eastern parts of Ukraine and the Black Sea. Controlling the Black Sea, which is also the main route of Ukraine's export to the world, would destroy the country's economy and provide a good base and standpoint for the Russian forces. Just a few days ago, Russia successfully achieved this mission, and the Ukrainian army's efforts to retake the sea have been futile. In all these combats, the Russians have learned to utilize their jet fighters to neutralize the Ukrainian aircraft, delivering a devastating blow not only to the Ukrainian Air Force, but also to its ground force too. Should the Ukrainian forces be scared of this jet fighter? Quite ironically, the Ukrainian Air Force also owns about 32 Su-27 jet fighters the country inherited during the fall of the Soviet Union. Considering that Ukraine also holds some of these powerful jet fighters, you may expect the Ukrainian forces to be less scared of the Russian Air Force. However, from recent happenings, it also seems that the existing of such 27 flankers isn't just enough. The Russian Air Force has proven that the number of these jet fighters also matters. In total, the Russian Air Force has about 101 Su-27 flanker jet fighters in its inventory, many of which have been applied frequently to combat the Ukrainian forces. These stats show that for every Ukrainian Su-27 flanker jet fighter, the Russian Air Force has about 3 similar jet fighters to neutralize the threat. And one still wonders why the Russians have a stronger hold over the Ukrainian skies. What other jet fighters are the Russian forces applying in the ongoing crisis? Russia is a country that has a total of 4,183 aircraft, making it the country with the second largest aircraft in the world. About 1,900 of these aircraft are jet fighters, most of which have astonishing state-of-the-art weapons and defense systems with almost futuristic designs. Apart from the Su-27 flanker jet, the Russian Air Force has used other jets since the beginning of the Ukrainian war. Some of these jet fighters include the Sukhoi Su-25 and the Sukhoi Su-24 jet fighters. The Sukhoi Su-34 has also been used in the ongoing crisis. The aircraft is actually an upgraded version of the Su-27 and was intended to change the Russian Air Force. However, unlike the Su-27, its results haven't yet been totally in line with its expectations. The Russians continue to press against the Ukrainian army, using their military might to suffocate the relatively smaller Ukrainian troops. In all these conquests, the Su-27 flanker jet fighter is seen proudly dominating the skies. Are there other countries using the Su-27? As you might have noticed already, the Su-27 is not only a popular Russian jet fighter, but also proudly occupies an exalted position in the Ukrainian fleet of jet fighters. However, aside from Russia and Ukraine, other countries also use the Su-27. These countries include Belarus, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Indonesia, India, China, and Vietnam. In fact, versions of the plane are licensed in China and India. If you enjoy watching videos like this, then leave a like and ensure to subscribe to the channel Military Technology Updates. That way, you don't miss out on our next videos. Take care.